What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys figure unboxing and review video. Today we are featuring another figure from Star Wars, and that is Moff Gideon from The Mandalorian Season 3, played by Giancarlo Esposito. This is, honestly guys, is one of my favorite characters of all of Star Wars. I think that Giancarlo does a fantastic job. He is a great actor already to begin with, but to me he does a fantastic job of playing Moff. I think that Moff is a ruthless character and just evil, so I like him a lot, and the fact that I get the chance for the first time to unbox him in 1/6 scale is very exciting for me. So very excited to get started with this unboxing. I did purchase the figure off of Sideshow Collectibles, and as always we'll include the link to their website so that way you guys can purchase your own Moff Gideon. Not sure if there's a pre-order right now for him or if he is available, but still in all, I will include the link to their website. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get started with the unboxing and review. Okay, so for the design of the box, so we pretty much get your typical design of boxes for Star Wars. We get a black background with pretty much the figure right there in the middle. We do get a Star Wars logo in metallic coloring, and then we do get a wraparound banner that looks really nice. We get an image of Moff Gideon, and of also we do get in the background Mandalore along with a yellow colored Star Wars kind of wording along with the name of the figure. I think it looks absolutely amazing. On the right side we just pretty much get the name of the figure and a Star Wars logo, the black background, and again the wraparound banner that continues with the box. On the back, nothing too special, name of the figure, warning illegal information, and the black background as we always get for any Star Wars figure. This box unfortunately did arrive a little bit damaged, so I'm very disappointed about that, but it doesn't ruin the figure for me. Just kind of wanted to point that out. On the left side, we once again continue with the wraparound banner. We get an image of Moff Gideon, this time without his helmet, and the wraparound banner that continues on with the box. Just like on the last video when I did Admiral Thrawn, I don't feel the need to snap my fingers since I can just go ahead and remove the box on its own and get to the next part, which is I'm assuming it's going to be a wallpaper of some type. And yes, there it is. There we get a wallpaper that looks absolutely amazing. I always like to say Hot Toys, to me, if they were in full control of the designs, this would be their main cover, and it looks really cool. We get an image of Moff Gideon right there in the middle with his helmet, and then we get the three Imperial Guard patrons right there in the middle. The only thing that I don't like is the image at the top right of Moff. I think it looks a little bit weird. I think they should have just left the regular image of Moff Gideon right there on top of the Patronian guards, but that's just my personal opinion. Either way, the wallpaper is really cool. So now I have the figure here with me. There are a lot more accessories than I expected, and that is a good thing. We get all these different type of things that come along with the figure. That's typically more than we would get for a Star Wars figures. But first impression so far for Mr. Moff Gideon, he looks great, man. That head sculpt is as good as I've ever seen from any Star Wars figure. Obviously we will touch more on detail on that head sculpt, but the whole figure on its own looks great. We are off to a fantastic start, and I am not noticing any pleather at all around the suit, so I am very happy about that. I would say we are off to a fantastic start. So now that we unboxed the figure, as always, we're gonna first start with the accessories. We'll take a look at Moff in full detail. We'll do maybe a side-by-side comparison or two, and then at the end we'll pose the figure and give our final thoughts on the guy. Okay, we get to the accessories. So as I mentioned before, we get a lot more things that we would typically get with any Star Wars figure. Number one, we get two different sculpts. We get some accessories to go along with the guy, and that is a good thing. The only disappointment is right here, which is the display base. We get the same display base as we get for a lot of Star Wars figure, with its Star Wars flooring, rectangular shape, the regular crotch grabber, and the nameplate for Star Wars Moff Gideon in the same font and style. I think at some point it becomes very frustrating to me. I just wish there was a little bit of a variety, but you know, we have to stick to this. Unfortunately, we do get two different sculpts. We get his helmet, and we get Moff Gideon's head sculpt featuring Giancarlo Esposito. Both head sculpts are amazing. This is one of those times where I think that any option is great to go along with the guy. Again, I will touch on these more in detail whenever we're taking a look at the figure, and I will let you guys know which is my favorite look for the guy. But for now, just know know that we get those two options with him, and both look amazing without question. And then we get his I would call it a jetpack. So it does have its flame effects at the bottom, so it does also have a magnet that goes attached onto his back, and pretty much it is made out of plastic with a very shiny and glossy coloring. And then these flame pieces do go attached to the bottom. They did come separate, but I went ahead and attached them on this part of the video, so that way there's not too many separate accessories on this part of the video. But just note that the flames do go connected onto this jetpack, and to me it looks nice. I like the glossiness of it. Since it is really glossy, I'll probably have to clean my fingerprints off of it whenever I do install it onto the figure. We do get also some of his accessories. So we get pretty much we get his blaster pistol right here. That doesn't it's not really too detailed. It's your regular plastic type of pistol. We do get the dark saber that's pretty much broken, as you guys remember in that scene where he basically just breaks it with his own hand. I thought it was such an amazing scene, and the fact that it comes with the figure, I think it's a great thing. And then also he comes with his spear, but this one is kind of like a half spear. It's not the full spear. We'll take a look at that a little bit later on, but just know that these are some of the accessories. The dark saber, I cannot tell you guys how happy I am that it comes with it. We do also get a flame effect that this goes attached onto his gauntlet, either on his left or right arm. First and foremost, this is probably the best flame effect I have ever seen by Hot Toys. It's got this glossiness and brightness about it, where it actually seems like it's actually turned on. Like, if you're looking at this thing right now, it makes it seem like it's actually, you know, bursting into fire. I think that the effect is done absolutely amazingly, and I love how it looks. And then I mentioned before, the long spear does come with the figure, along with some lining piece effects that go on each corner of the whole spear. Unfortunately, this is one of those accessories that I don't think I could include on my cabinet. I think it's too long and too wide, and it's not going to leave me enough space for other figures, but it does work for photography and for posing for this part of the video, so I'm glad that it comes with it. It looks exactly as it is in the video. And then we do get this effect as well that also goes on his gauntlet. I like the fact that it comes with it. Just gives us another option to pose. Not sure I'll really use it during the posing part, but just note that it does come with it, and it does go attached also on his gauntlet from either the left or right arm. I will show you guys a little bit later on how to attach those pieces onto his gauntlet, especially the flame effect that we just saw previously. And then we get some hand pieces. So we get a total of 8 hands, including the ones that come with the figure. So we get pretty much closed fists. That is something that I really expected with this figure. Something that I can really compliment the hands on is, number one, the texture between the armor and the actual glove is very noticeable. Also, we get a lot of stretch marks with each of these poses, and I always like when it does that because that makes it more legit. So I think Hot Toys did a good job with the hand pieces for this figure. The ones on the left would be to pretty much either hold on to his blaster pistol, the other one just a regular pose, and as I mentioned before, the closed fist. So I like these hands so far. And then the other 4 would be also similar poses. The ones on the right are going to be for him to hold on to his spear or also the dark saber. It's completely up to you guys how you guys want to pose it. And then the ones on the left is just going to be a regular relaxed pose for the guy. As I mentioned before, I think the texture of the glove and the armor is great, and also the motion lines to make the posing more legit is absolutely amazing. So I would say that all of the accessories look great. I really don't have any complaints about it. Like the fact that it comes with all of these options. It's going to be really fun to pose the guy with all the things that it comes with. Okay guys, we get to Moff Gideon to review him in full detail. So we start off with the head sculpt for Giancarlo. This is a perfect head sculpt to me. My only complaint would be the seam line we get between the neck and the head sculpt, which is a little bit too noticeable for me, and also the fact that the neck is so tight compared to the undersuit that I feel like over time it will get damaged. That's just a concern I have. We'll see how it looks down the line in the future once I do have the figure in my collection for a while. But the head sculpt itself, it's absolutely perfect. I like the facial expression. The hairpiece is on point. The skin texture, same thing. I like the fact that we get this baggy type of wrinkled skin to make the character look old, which obviously he is. So to me, it is absolutely on point. And then the bonus part is that we do get rotating eyeballs with the guys. So let's go ahead and show them off. And here we have them. So this is not the ultimate pose for the rotating eyeballs. I just wanted to kind of show it to see how it looks. And to me, I've always said that the rotating eyeballs gives a lot of meaning to the character and the figure. It's just a completely another dimension to show the character. He just looks absolutely amazing. Now, the unfortunate part is that we also get the helmet with the figure. And with the helmet, the sad thing is that both look absolutely amazing. I can't choose which looks better, right? I feel like I'll probably choose at the end of the video how eventually I'm gonna post the guy in my collection. But the helmet looks great. It's shiny just like the armor. It has different shades of red in between his eyes, and again, I just love how it fits on the figure. Again, the material, it matches the armor, the color texture, same thing. So I really like it a lot. Now, for the figure itself, one complaint that I do have is how the armor is connected onto the figure. So it's one of those figures where the armor is so loose to a point where it almost seems like it's gonna fall apart. The undersuit, sadly, it is not made out of nylon, but at the same time, I don't think it's made out of pleather either. I'm really lost as far as what the actual material on this thing is. The good thing is that the belt is made out of kind of like this rubbery plastic. The place where that hole right there, or pocket hole where the pistol goes, that is made out of pleather. That's probably the only thing that's made out of pleather. To me, it's not a concern of mine. That thing won't bend in any way, so I think we should be fine. But the undersuit is the part that I am a little bit confused about. If you guys don't mind helping me out on this, because I really am not that great with materials. I just know it's not nylon, and it doesn't really look like pleather. It does seem to be a more durable material than pleather. I just wouldn't know what it would be. As I mentioned before, with the armor, just all over the place. It moves a little bit too much for me, so whenever I am going to post a figure, I feel like I'm going to have a struggle with it. I wish these things were connected via magnet, or maybe a kind of like a thicker type of tape, basically, so that way it fits well. The boots, thank goodness we don't get pleather with the boots. They're made out of plastic and they fit very nicely with the figure. I like the fact that the texture of the boots compared to the armor isn't the same, so that really makes the figure look even better. So overall, the suit looks absolutely amazing. I don't see any pleather, as I mentioned before. My only issue would be the armor, that it's a little bit too loose, but I don't think it's something that is going to affect me overall whenever I do post a figure. The cape itself, it feels very similar to the one that we get for Vader, for the last two Vaders. It's a very kind of like thick type of fabric where it feels very soft, and I love how it looks from both sides, both the red and the black. We do get wires on both of the left and right side, and that would pretty much be it. And then pretty much, as I mentioned before, the jetpack does go in the back of the figure. My only thing is that the magnet is going to be stronger without the cape. See, if we install it right there, I'll be honest, it's a little bit of a weird look, and also the jetpack doesn't attach well to the magnet because of the cape. Since it's a thick fabric, the strength of the magnet is not as big as I would have wanted it. So just kind of an FYI. Still in all, the jetpack looks really, really nice, and I gotta find a way to post it with the figure so that way it looks a little bit more legit. But overall, the figure looks absolutely amazing. I really cannot find any big complaints on it. Just a detail here and there. I like the material of the figure. It's better than your typical pleather, and I like the fact that the two options are great as far as both head sculpts, the helmet and the head sculpt itself. I did tell you guys that I wanted to go over the flame effect, how it goes installed. So as you guys can see, the magnet, I'm sorry, not the magnet, but the gauntlet right there on his wrist. So pretty much that part right there, you're gonna just pretty much push it to a point where you can create some space between his hand and his gauntlet. I'll be honest, I really don't like this part of it, because I feel like if I were to leave the figure this way, eventually it could get damaged. It could make the gauntlet kind of break apart from the actual figure. Also, it makes the split it makes the seam line between the hand and the wrist a little bit more noticeable. So that is something that I am a little bit concerned about. Still in all, it's a good look to him. Back to the figure. Now we've gone ahead and attached Giancarlo's head sculpt back on so that we can take a look at the articulations for the guy. So the boot doesn't have any type of splits underneath, so there won't be any articulations in between his toes. However, the boot that is connected to his left leg via ball joint, so it does twist and move a lot. And I like the fact that that ball joint in between the ankle and the actual leg isn't that noticeable. With his legs, because of the material of the suit, They don't stretch that much to the side, so as you guys can see, it only stretches all the way till there, and obviously I don't want to damage the material in any way. The knees, also same thing, they don't bend that much because of the material, and also the armor is kind of in its way, so they only bend that way. Now, the knees do go all the way to the back until there, so that is a good thing. That helps us a lot. When it comes to posing, around the waist area, it does twist very nicely, so that is a good thing. It'll help me a lot. It goes all the way to the front till there pretty much, and then if we go all the way to the back, it's gonna go all the way till there. So I would say for the waist, we're good to go on that. For the arms, one of my concerns is that shoulder armor that I feel like it's gonna pretty much break apart whenever I do stretch the hands a lot. It does move all the way to the back till there, so we're also good with the arms. I think they articulate very well, and all the way to the front till there. We do also have some joints in between the elbows, so pretty much it's going to go all the way till there. I think that's pretty good. I think the arms is the most important thing when it comes to the articulations for this specific figure, just because of all of the accessories that it's going to come with. And then the head sculpt, because it is attached to a neck, it does pretty much turn around all the way. It does go to the right until there, and to the left until there. It does go all the way to the top till there, and to the bottom till there. So I would say articulations are great for this guy when it comes to the face, arms, and waist area. I think the legs are okay, but it could have been better. But I like the fact that also we get a seam line in between the ankles, so the feet will be very articulated. So I would say articulations from a scale of 1 to 10 would probably be at around 7.5, possibly 8. Okay, everyone, for a quick side-by-side, so this is the only comparison that I'll do. Sadly, these are the only two figures that I have for The Mandalorian, and I can't lie to you, that is depressing to me. There's so many figures that I can get, from Grogu to The Mandalorian himself, to maybe a previous Moff Gideon, Ahsoka. For sure, I need another Praetorian Guard, at least to pose them side by side to Moff Gideon himself. For now, this is all that I have, and these two guys look absolutely amazing together. They have some similarities when it comes to their suit, and also I like the fact that both of them come with their personal accessories to have them pose in very different ways. But I like the fact that I have both figures to myself. In the collection, and I'm a little bit surprised that Moff is a little shorter than the Praetorian Guard, but still, and all that's not a complaint. That's just a thing that I wanted to point out. But as I mentioned before, very happy to have these two figures, but I really need to expand my collection from The Mandalorian. I promise you guys I will, slowly but surely. I'll start getting some figures, and hopefully Hot Toys will release some in the future, so that way I don't have to buy all of these previous figures. But I really only wanted to do this side-by-side comparison. I didn't want to just do other Star Wars figures just to do comparisons. I think this would be the only fair one, since these are characters from the same series that go along together. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about these two figures together, and if you guys own any figures from The Mandalorian. Okay, everyone, so we have reached the end of this unboxing and review for Moff Gideon from The Mandalorian Season 3. So my last unboxing, I did Admiral Thrawn from the Ahsoka series, and I thought that was a really good unboxing. To me, we continue the trend here with Moff Gideon. To be honest, Moff Gideon is a much better figure than Thrawn. I really like this figure a lot, and it is one of my favorite figures I have ever collected for Star Wars. I think the figure on its own is great. I love the glossiness and brightness of the armor. It really makes the figure stand out a lot. I like the fact that both the head sculpt and the helmet are great looks to the guy. And by the way, I've made my decision. I'm gonna go with Giancarlo's head sculpt to pose with the figure. I just think that head sculpt is too perfect to just put back in the box, so I am gonna go ahead and go with this pose. Let me know in the comments if you guys think I'm right about that or not, but overall I think it's a great figure. Only a detail here and there, like the articulations in the legs, the seam line between the neck and the head sculpt, things like that. Again, I'm just getting a little bit picky, but thankfully we don't get any pleather, so I would think that this figure is going to be a little bit more durable than your typical Hot Toys figure. So very, very happy with what I've received from Hot Toys. Let me know in the comments what do you guys thoughts about this figure. And if you guys do want to go ahead and get your own copy of Moff Gideon, I will include the link to the sideshow, as I mentioned before, where you guys can either pre-order him or join the wait list or get him shipped out already, depending on what the status of the figure is at this time. But for now, guys, I want to thank you for supporting the channel and for always watching my videos. A reminder that I am on Instagram and TikTok, where you guys can follow me to view images of my figures and as well as updates on what I have coming up on the channel. A reminder also to like this video, comment, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and also join to support the channel and for more unboxings. A reminder that you guys can join the membership, the Jedi Masters, for $2.99 for more perks for following the channel on its own. Again, thank you so much for joining me today on this unboxing of Moff Gideon from The Mandalorian Season 3. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I will see you next time.